Muscarelle in the house. Virtual art camp. Do not attempt to adjust your computer screens, because we are in there. Hey folks, my name is Steve Prince, and I'm the Director of Engagement at the Muscarelle Museum at William and Mary. Hey, welcome folks to episode 5. Oh, I have a wonderful show lined up for you today. By popular demand, people have asked, say, hey Steve, could you do some more of the exploration in terms of perspective? We really love the way in which we can make our objects appear to lift from the page and go out into space. Can you teach us how to make buildings and how to make a road and how to make telephone poles and how do you make a person walking down the street? Oh, are y'all ready for that complex trip? Are you ready to make all these different things? Are you ready for something that's going to make your heart palpitate, going to make your eyeballs swell, and going to make your knees shake? Y'all probably not ready for all that. That's probably too much. You ready? All right, let me let you know the materials that you're going to need today. Today, you're going to need a pencil, a number 2 or softer, paper of any size, and an eraser. Really basic materials. So let's get those things out. All right, you ready? Come on, get your stuff. Let's go. Time to go. Time to move. All right, get your paper in place, and we're ready to get it on. Like popcorn. Like, let's get it on. Let's do this thing. All right, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a marker so that you will see the really good contrast on the paper as I go along and as you follow along at home. Okay? So, one of the first things we got to do is we got to go back to our rule. We have to establish a horizon line. And I want to see, who has been paying attention to the last 2 lessons when I spoke about the horizon line and where and how to find it. That's absolutely right. See that? All right. My teaching is not going in vain. It is seeping into the hearts of our youth. I'm so happy. All right. So remember this basic rule in terms of the horizon line. The horizon line is parallel to your field of vision in terms of how you look straight out and parallel to the ground. When you seated, when you stand up and look straight out with your field of vision parallel to the ground, that again is your horizon line. Is the imaginary line that you need to establish in making a drawing that is in perspective. Do not put that line here. Do not put that line up here. Make sure that line is straight, parallel to your field of vision in terms of seeing. Okay? So, with that being said, let us lay in our horizon line. I'm going to choose to put it around the center of the page. Horizon line can actually happen in different places on the paper, which would change the way in which the drawing would look. But because I know I'm going to make some buildings, and because I know I'm going to make a road, and I'm going to make some telephone poles, and I'm going to make a person walking down the middle of the street, or walking down the sidewalk actually, I want to make sure that I allow for enough space for that to happen. So I'm going to pull my horizon line, lock the wrist, pull that line straight across, and again, you can use a ruler if you want to pull this line, but keep it nice and light. And so I'm going to darken mine up just a little bit more, give it a little bit more contrast so that you can see and follow along so it doesn't get too faint. All right, you got it? That's our horizon line. That's that line that's imaginary that exists out in space. So what I'm going to use is again, 1 point. There's multiple points that you can use, but I'm going to keep it relatively simple, and I'm going to work with 1 point in terms of the creation of this. So I'm going to establish a point, let's see, right over here. Bam. That's on my line. You darken up and make it a little bit bigger so you can all see that point on the line. And from that point, I'm going to pull out of it to begin to start devising where my buildings will fall. So I'm going to take that line and I'm going to pull it out. Pull it out and up. So I got it going up. And then I'm going to take another line and I'm going to pull it down on that line. So I'm going to take it and pull it over here. And I'm going to run it right on out of the page. I'm going to take this one and I'm going to run it right on out of the page. See how straight that line is? It's because I locked the wrist, and I use my full body action in order to get that line to pull out there. All right? We have a big giant triangle that's kicking off the road, off to the left of our compositional space. The compositional space is the place in which we're working. It is the picture plane. That's what this whole space is called. So now what I want to do is I want to begin to situate some buildings. And I'm going to do those by creating a series of boxes. And these boxes are going to fit within this space. So I'm going to make one vertical, and I'm going to make two verticals. And then I'm going to make another vertical next to that one. I'm going to jump over, and I'm going to make another vertical. And then I'm going to split it some more, just a little bit more space. I gapped it here. I'm going to gap it again, and I'm going to make another vertical. And let it run off of the page. Okay? Again, I'm going to keep it nice and slow so you can follow along and keep up with all the different steps. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to begin to devise if this is a building, this is a building, this is a building, I need to begin to establish the fullness of them, because right now it's just three planes that are vertical in space. A little bit larger, a little bit smaller as it goes back in conceptual space. So I'm going to pull a horizontal here and a horizontal here. I'll pull a horizontal here and a horizontal here. That now is giving that building structure some thickness and weight and body. Now I'm going to pull another line off this. I'm going to create a sidewalk. So I'm going to pull from this point, and I'm going to pull down and out. And there's my sidewalk. My person is going to be walking on that sidewalk a little later. Then the next thing I want to establish is my road. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to fan it over more, but then I'm going to take it and pull it out like that. And then I'm going to pull it out again, out like that. That will be, actually let me shift it over a little bit. That will act as like the center of the road, and we will put some stuff on that as we kind of move on and move forward. But I'm gonna walk again, step by step, inch by inch, yard by yard. All right, so we're gonna move this along, moving along. And because you got one side of the street with a sidewalk, let's put another sidewalk on the opposite side of the street. So then pull that one down. You notice that I keep going over the line over and over again? That is called a finding line. So it helps you to get that line established and find the proper shape or the proper density, the proper angle. If you make a little mistake, don't worry about it. Just keep going. Keep on making the marks. Don't give up. It's so important. All right, so I got that established. Now, I want to begin to make my buildings. And so I'm going to make it like a little old township, a little main street. Kind of space. And so I'm going to step this line up a little bit more. I'm going to step that one, and I want to begin to define my building to make it stand out. I'm going to step that one up. So I need a door. So I'm going to create a vertical and a vertical. And I'm going to go to the next one, a vertical and a vertical. And to the last one, I'm going to go a vertical and a vertical. And then I'm going to pull from here a line that will begin to mark the tops of each one of the doors. Another diagonal. I'll line them all up. And then I can tighten it back up some more. Tighten it up, and tighten it up. Okay, y'all have to feel these buildings coming into being. It's just one step at a time that you're following. So now I'm going to create some windows on here. So I'm going to make them a little bit lower than the roof line right here. And so I'm going to pull a line up just like that, a little bit below. So that when I make my verticals, and so I'm going to make a vertical and a vertical. And that's tying right on the horizon line right there. And I'll make a vertical and a vertical. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Come over here, 1 and 2, and this one is kind of running off the page. So then I can go back and step those lines up, and I have a series of windows on my building. And I follow the shapes that I made. You feel it? Come on, people. The buildings are coming into life. They're coming into being. It's magical. It's wonderful. It's so great when you know how to do all these little things. So I got this bottom floor. Let's create a window down there. And so I already got the top of the window that I can line up on the top of the doors, but then I need the bottom of the window. So I'm gonna take and pull a line out like this. Let me get a little bit better line. There we go, that's better, that's better. And then I'm gonna pull a vertical and a vertical. I lined it up to that window, lined it up, vertical and a vertical. Got it all the way around, and then I got a vertical and a vertical. Lined it up all the way around. So now I got a series of windows on the next floor. Now, it's boiled down to you what type of details you want to put onto your building. You know, do you want to put bricks on it? Do you want to put wood on it? Do you want to make a little molding around the windows and so forth? I'm gonna work with this middle one here. And so I'm gonna create a little bit of more of a rim around my windows. And that will be like some wood and some design going around it. And I'm gonna put some more window edge around it, and a little trim, and I'm gonna put a little trim around my doorway that goes to the house. I'm gonna really fashion it up with a little doorknob, and I'm gonna open. Then I want to create like a little window on the door. So I'll pull that line across, and then I got the bottom part of the window, but then I'm gonna curve it over just like that. And I can put a little line, a little line, and a little line. You see it? It's amazing. Now I want to create some window panes. So you want to create a vertical inside. Boom, and boom, and boom. And then you want to make sure that you pull that line back to perspective, to go back, and to go back, to go back, and to go back. And then you can go back over those windows and tighten up those window panes and begin to break it up and begin to create the little fashioning of the window inside. You see it? It's coming together piece by piece, folks. That's the way to build it. It's all about building in that way. You build a little piece at a time. And if I wanted to create bricks, then I follow those lines going back. Make sure you pull those perspective lines going back and back and back, all the way back to that space. And make sure you pay attention to how they're fanning out. What I mean by fanning out, it fans out that way. So you make sure that your lines are working with that. Just pull a series of lines, pull a series of lines, pull a series of lines, and watch it fan down and down and down and down and down and down and down. And then it's a matter of going back and building the little bricks inside. And then you skip it. And you just keep adding more and more bricks. And that's called the half drop brick pattern. And I can keep going over and over again and adding more and more bricks into it. Okay? So now let's work on a couple of telephone poles. So now, again, I'm gonna pull up like so. And then I'm gonna pull up a vertical off of that and make a little piece. And then I'm gonna pull and create a horizontal mark and a horizontal mark. That's one telephone pole. But then I want to make one a little bit bigger. So I'm going to take this telephone pole, I'm going to pull it right from here. Pull it up, all the way up to that line, pull it back down. You may want to darken that up a little bit to make it stand out, give it a little bit more contrast. And then pull your little horizontal members in, 1 and 2. See how cool it is? Then the last one, you may want to pull like right up here and make it nice and make it a little bit thicker than the last two. And let's darken it in. Darken that in and darken that in. Now you got a telephone pole sitting right there. And you can do this on. You can put more telephone poles going back into space. Next thing you want to do is make your sidewalk. So pull the horizontal lines across and make your sidewalks. Come across, pull it across. Just like that. Pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it, pull it. Make it go away. And then do the opposite side. And you got your sidewalks going back into space. Now for your street, pull the line, spread the line a little bit. And then make a dash, darken that in, make a dash, darken that in, make a dash, darken, 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 all the way back. And now you got your street going back into space. You see, it's coming to life, folks. It's coming to life. And you can put more details in all those and make it even more fantabulous and more beautiful and more great and grandiose. And now I need a person working on the street. And so this would be their head, and this would be their torso, and this would be their arm, and this would be one leg going forward, and this would be one leg going back. I got the person walking down the street looking really cool. And let's put a briefcase in his hand because he's going to work. And you can just make whatever you want. You can make cars in the street. You can make dogs running down the street. You can make all kinds of different things to fill in this world that you've created. It's all about utilizing your imagination to make whatever is here, to make all this stuff work. And we can put other stuff over into this space, and we can pull it over here and add more things in there. And if you want to go to the opposite side and you want to add a building over here, and it's just about making that little diamond shape that we just worked on just a little while ago, and then pulling that back and pulling that back. And now we can begin to build the building on that side. And working out the door, and where you want that door to fall, pulling the door, so forth, so on, and we can begin to build something on that other side of the street. All right? That's just basic one-point perspective. And, we want to put some clouds in the sky and add that on in and add something up here. We can just make all kinds of wonderful spaces together. Okay, folks? So remember, art is all around you. Muscarelle in the house. Virtual Art Camp.